Hey guys, it's Bad Lori, and welcome back to my channel today. In case you're new here, let me fill you in a little bit about what we're here for. I create content related to The Sims, whether it's old Sims, news, builds, let's plays. I've got a video on it probably. So if you're into that kind of thing, make sure you subscribe, give me some likes, some comments, let me know what you liked about it today or what you'd want to see in the future. I'm open to feedback. Anyway, what we're here to do today is talk a little bit about some news they revealed in the EA blogs about the new expansion pack, The Sims 4 Eco Lifestyle. So, like usual, let me read it to you so you don't have to worry about it anymore. Let's get into the blog. Take sustainability to the next level in The Sims 4 Eco Lifestyle. Power up with renewable energy, vote to change, and go green. Nestled up against a quarry by the water, Evergreen Harbor has a long history of natural beauty marred by pollution. Over the years, it has become, well, not so green at all. Smog and dirty air cloud the skies, junk has accumulated in empty lots, and trash litters the docks of the harbor. It's maybe not the best fishing environment, but in the Sims 4 Eco Lifestyle expansion pack, it's up to your Sims to return it to its former glory. Or they could just party it up filthy style. We won't judge. Move it, move it. Sims arriving in Evergreen Harbor have the choice of 3 different neighborhoods. The community of Grimm's Quarry is best off, environmentally speaking, though grimy and cluttered with waste. Still, its clean air accentuates its appeal when compared to the middling Conifer Station and run-down Port Promise. Once Sims start making an effort though, each of these neighborhoods transform. Go all in on industrial chic aesthetic by turning an old shipping container lot into your new home in Port Promise. Or take a leisurely stroll on top of the train station's parkway in the Conifer Station, where Evergreen Harbor finally lives up to its name. Sims also reap the rewards of living either the green or industrial lifestyle, even beyond Evergreen Harbor. Check your impact in almost any neighborhood or world of your choosing, excluding Strangerville and Destination Worlds. Or pause the eco footprint effects from the game options menu. You decide where and when it matters to you. Hit the dumpster. Need a TV, a table, or even a mattress? Check the dumpster. A lot of things you find in the trash aren't junk at all. That first-generation TV is a nostalgic but functional throwback. Sure, that mattress might have a coffee stain and a tear or two, but you can fix it up, or just use it as it is. And that singed oven is perfectly fine after you wipe it down. There's no reason to buy a new one where you can basically furnish your house without spending a single simoleon. Just make sure that dumpster is not already occupied with another Sims getting frisky. You've been warned. Waste not, want not. So your Sim just bought a new couch and it needs to get rid of the old one? You can sell it, of course, but why not turn it into something new? With the recycler, you can break that old couch down into reusable components for your next invention. To get the rest of the materials, keep an eye out for the bits and pieces while you're scrounging around in the dumpster. Once you've collected enough, you can create your own items in the amazing new Fabricator. You have the power. What power? The power of sustainable resources. Who do? You do. From wind turbines to solar powers, generate your own electricity at home. Whether you place them on your roof or in your yard, they offset your bills and take you off the grid. Literally. They expand off-the-grid functionality. Sims might choose to gather their own water with a dew collector too. Who needs infrastructure now? Of course, you could always go for traditional power generator if green energy isn't your thing. Work hard, play hard. Explore 2 new careers in The Sims 4 Eco Lifestyle. As a civil designer, it's your job to fix this town up. With help, of course. Once you get into your eco inventions up and running, your neighbors are sure to take notice. On the other hand, if you're more of a creative soul, why not turn a profit on the stuff you're making? Perhaps if you're a fizzy juicer, or a furniture maker, or a candle maker, once you've gathered your resources, like ingredients or repurposed dyes, you can get to work and fill orders through the computer as a freelance crafter. You can also sell your goods with an entrepreneur's table at the community space at your own time. Come together. Every week, you and your neighbors can vote on a neighborhood action plan, like funding green initiatives, supporting self-sufficiency, or encouraging free love. You can also designate a purpose for the community space, transform it into a shared garden, a makerspace, or a marketplace for everyone to enjoy. You get to build it in nearly any world in The Sims 4. Bring Sims together around vertical gardens and hydroponic planters in Brindleton Bay. Learn from other craftspeople in the workshop of Willow Creek, or sell your goods and pursue other offerings at the market in Evergreen Harbor. It's up to you and your neighbors. Don't forget to convince them to vote your way. Bug out. Bees aren't the only queen bees in The Sims 4 anymore, though they do produce wax. The new insect farm introduces a plethora of bugs. While toddlers and children can play with the grubs and crickets, bombardier beetles provide biofuel for the power generator. Or, if you're feeling adventurous, treat your Sims to a healthy, crunchy, protein-filled meal. Just don't let them smile at anyone afterwards and they might see the beetle like stuck to their teeth. Gross. I feel like we got a lot of details out of that blog post. I'm personally really excited with the stuff that they divulged from there. I know there's been like some other news too that they've been circulating around a little bit that didn't quite make it into that post. Like I've heard that we're supposed to be able to get acid rain now, and that the pollution will affect the weather, but the weather won't affect the pollution, and vice versa. I want to get through and break it down like paragraph by paragraph so we can actually like get into all of this eco lifestyle pack. So in the first paragraph, it talks about how there's going to be 15 new lots and 3 different neighborhoods added with this pack, which, you know what, I'm personally happy with. I think that's sufficient for an expansion pack. I feel like that's a lot better than what they gave us with Del Sol Valley. I feel like that's the best they've given us recently in any expansion pack. They did give us a lot of options in Brightchester. Like Brightchester was really big, I'll admit that. However, it's mostly like school focused and university focused, which makes sense for the pack. But if you're not going to university, you're not going to use that world really for the most part. So there's that. There's supposed to be 3 different tiers naturally within this world of neighborhoods. There's usually like, you know, a starter neighborhood for you when you're just starting out your world. There's like a mid-tier neighborhood, and of course there's going to be a more affluent one as well. It seems that the level of pollution is going to be able to affect all of these different neighborhoods differently, and that you're going to start out kind of like different things affecting you in each place that you go to. So I'm interested to see more about what they meant by that and how exactly that's going to play out, and if it's really going to be worth it to like move your sim through the entire world, or will you just be able to experience it by like traveling some. Because in my experience with the Island Living expansion pack is my sim only ever gets to actually clean up the area, you know, the neighborhood that they live in. They don't actually get to clean up the other neighborhoods in Sulani because they're not there enough, and it takes a long time and a lot of work to clean up the neighborhoods. I guess that kind of has something to do with why they mentioned that it's important to convince your neighbors to go along with your plans too in this pack. So the next paragraph that we get into actually mentions more about the names of each neighborhood and a little bit more about what you're going to see there. Apparently there is Conifer Station, which is allegedly a train station. I'm interested to see if that's a functional train station or if it's just, you know, like set and you're gonna be able to walk up and see, oh, there's a train station. I think it'd be cool if you'd be able to like take the trains to other neighborhoods, you know, like you go up to it and it clicks travel and then it gives you the option like, hey, where'd you want to go? Again, I guess we're gonna have to wait and see. I have a lot of speculations about this pack just because I'm really excited about it, so you can tell I've spent a lot of time thinking about this pack. They're also mentioned that there is Grimm's Quarry and Port Promise are the other 2 neighborhoods. Grimm's Quarry is supposed to be the more affluent neighborhood where things start off a little bit nicer, and then there's Port Promise, which appears to be like the starter neighborhood, and it says that there's a shipping container home in there, which I'm assuming is just like the starter house that comes with the game, but I'm hoping that it kind of shows off and displays all of the cool new features and build and buy mode items that would come in the pack. Like there's usually one of those houses that comes in each expansion pack that does a really good job of showing off all the things that the new pack is capable of, so I'm hoping that's the shipping container lot. The blog also mentioned that there's rewards to living an eco-friendly lifestyle within the Evergreen Harbor, so I'm curious to see what that means besides just the obvious effects of the pollution going away and the environment getting clearer. Like, will there be plant boosts? Will there be friendship boosts? Will your sim be more uncomfortable living in the other polluted environment? I know that it's been announced that the official gameplay stream will be Thursday. I think it's starting at 11 a.m. Pacific time, so be ready for that to actually maybe see a little bit more what they're talking about. It's also mentioned and very clear in this particular paragraph too that the pollution will be able to affect other worlds that you interact with, so your base game worlds and your other additional worlds, basically everything besides the vacation worlds and Strangerville, will be able to be impacted by your pollution and environmental gains or losses. It's also mentioned that you'll be able to turn these things on and off from the main menu at any time. I'm assuming that means that if you only want the pollution to affect like certain worlds, then it would be that way. If you want it everywhere, if you don't want it everywhere. When I saw the screenshot on Twitter of the Aurora Borealis in the Goth's backyard in Willow Creek, that kind of took a little bit of, I wasn't into it just because Willow Creek is supposed to be representative of like a New Orleans swampy, you know, area of, you know, the southern part of the United States basically. essentially, whereas the Aurora Borealis only takes place in like the northernmost parts of the hemisphere. So it didn't really make sense to me to have somewhere that's so warm and not any, it just didn't make sense scientifically, but you know, it's a game, so let's use our imagination. Why am I picking on it for things like that when there's so many more things that we could be talking about? So the next big thing that it gets into is the dumpster feature, which apparently is going to have basically a whole new world inside of it from what I can tell. You can go dumpster diving to pick out things to either A, just live with, like hey, you found this dirty mattress, you can keep it as is, or you can go in there and find things to kind of build up into newer, nicer things. Apparently there's a feature where you can basically collect bits and pieces and different types of junk and build yourself more evolved collections for your household. Allegedly, you should be able to furnish your whole house for free from the things within the dumpster. I'm also curious to see how frequently these dumpsters are placed. Is there going to be a cooldown period on them after you go dumpster diving? Different things like that. Like, can I just go dumpster diving again and again and again? Because I know when you go rummaging in a trash can, you have to wait until there's more trash put into it before you can go rummaging again. However, there is a way around that. If you just keep putting the same trash back in the trash can again and again, you can keep rummaging or whatever. Curious to see if the dumpster works the same way. It also was very clear in the gameplay that we saw today and in the article that I just read to you that there will be dumpster woohoo. As you know, us sim kids are very excited for that because anywhere that your sim can get inside, your sims need to be able to woohoo in. Those are the rules. I didn't make them. But I am curious though, will your sim be able to do things like take a nap in the dumpster or will they be able to go cry it out in there? And all the other things that your sims can do in like a bed or a closet type of situation. The next thing the blog talked about was the recycler, which apparently kind of works hand in hand with the dumpster because this is what you can put your recycled pieces and your bits and pieces into and how you make your new furniture. Also though, you now have the ability to sell your old furniture and things, which I thought was a kind of neat addition. In a further paragraph down the blog, there is a part where it mentions that your sim can be, there's 2 new careers and we'll talk about that in a minute, but I kind of feel like this ability to sell your couches, make your own stuff and sell it, all of this kind of seems like it's going to be this very similar to Plopsy. So I'm interested to see how these things are different because again, I don't want another situation where I'm buying the backyard stuff and then you're also giving me the hot tub later on after I already paid for it. If these are like 2 of the same feature, so Sims, I'm hoping that you made them different enough that it's worth having both. So the next paragraph that we got into answers a lot of the questions that I had about off-the-grid living. Yes, there will be solar panels. Yes, there will be wind turbines. Yes, you can use them to either offset your bills or go completely off the grid. So thank you for answering my burning questions that I had about how this off-the-grid feature from Island Living is going to further interact with eco lifestyle. It was one of my favorite things from the Island Living set or update or whatever that came with. I got the pack the same day the update came out, so I can't remember if that was separate or not. However, I really like the off-the-grid living feature. I really wanted to see it expanded on in Tiny Living, so I'm happy to see that they're finally getting there now in eco lifestyle. It also mentioned there's going to be a dew collector, which is going to be cool too. Obviously, it's going to offset the water bills. So in this next paragraph, we get into the new careers that came with the pack, and I'm happy to see there's 2 careers. There is the civil designer career, where I guess you are basically a civil engineer and you plan your city's growth and anti-pollution future, you know, the climate adjustment. And then the other one where you are a freelance crafter, which again is like what I think is starting to like mirror Plopsy and some of the nifty knitting things that we were getting alluded to. But in this one is where you create your crafts from your garden, your fizzy juice, your recycle, whatever it is, have you. This is where you can sell that and kind of turn that into a career, which is great for sustainability and honestly what I'm probably going to make my Sims do a lot. But again, I have questions. How does this compare to Plopsy? What makes it different? Is it going to be worth it for me to have both? I will buy both anyway, but I want more information before I do. So next is when they started to talk about the new community lot a little bit more and how your Sims are going to be able to come together and have a marketplace there or a garden. And basically what you're going to be able to do here, from what I've understood, is your job is to campaign to the other Sims in your neighborhood, your neighbors, and convince them of what you want that to be. And hopefully they follow through on your plan with you, whether you want that to be an area where you guys can sell bugs and crafts like that, or whatever that weird meat gif is that we keep seeing. But it's up to you to convince your neighbors to decide the future of your neighborhood in essence. And I'm also excited to hear that we can put these community lots in the base game worlds too and other worlds. So again, you can have more impact over how the Sims eco lifestyle is going to impact your overall Sims game. This is a little bit more of the depth that I'm looking for with an expansion pack. Like if I'm going to be paying for as much for the expansion pack, almost as much as the base game was, I want want it to feel like I'm getting a whole nother game out of it. I feel like this is going to be game changing, at least I'm hoping so, and to me that feels like a satisfying feeling, to be looking forward to a game changing expansion pack. So last but not least, we get into the bug out portion of the article, which basically says that that house that it showed us where we all thought that was a chicken, I don't know what I thought it was compost and like earthworms. Apparently it's a bug house where you can cultivate and harvest bugs to use for food, or I think it said like natural dyes or other things. Your toddlers and kids can also play with the bug house too. This paragraph also revealed that your bees will now be able to create wax, and I guess that has something to do with the candle making aspect maybe? Which reminds me, I need to know if our fruits and vegetables are going to be able to use in candle making too, to be able to make different candles, because I want my spellcaster sims to be able to make their own candles and have them be more purposeful. Also for my spa loving sims, I want them to be able to create their own candles too. But anyway, back to the bugs. I'm curious to see how the different beetles, so we have crickets, beetles, and grubs that are coming in this new bug house. So I'm interested to see how they interact with the bugs and insects that we already have from Outdoor Retreat. Are we going to be able to incorporate some of those from the Granite Run into the bug house as well? I also thought it was really cool that they have recipes including them, because they are considered an alternative source of protein in some dietary needs. But again, I'm curious to see, will I be able to incorporate the insects that we've collected from Granite Run Falls? I would like that. I feel like that would be, a little bit more of that like cross-pack interaction that I'm looking for. But if not, I'd still be excited for my sim to learn new recipes and try new. That's the blog post. That was everything that we wanted to go over in there today. Let me know what you think about the pack in the comments. What are you excited for? Do you find this as disappointing as people keep telling me it's going to be? I'm really excited, and you guys can't change my opinion about it until after I get to play it. Let me know what you think. And if you liked this video today, definitely subscribe, leave some likes, and whatever you want to say in the comments, basically. Thanks for coming and hanging out with me again today and listening to me ramble about more sim stuff. I love you guys so much, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you next time. Bye!